Hello everyone. You're watching this video because so many people have asked me the question, Dave, uh, how do you play that game that you and Sam made? So I'm sick of being asked that question, and here is the video to explain it to you. Uh, what you're looking at here is a tabletop setup of Bedlam, the card game. Oh, lovely. Look at this fine artwork here. This is the deluxe version of the game, complete with playing surface.
Mm.
If you don't have the deluxe version, it'll look like this. Lovely.
You can just set those decks up however you like. Still
That's right.
perfectly playable. The deluxe
Exactly.
playing surface is not a critical part of the
Not
game.
critical to play, not critical to fun,
Mm.
just critical to the discerning eye.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so instead of explaining everything, let's just start a game. So
Wonderful.
there's two decks, and you draw 3 cards from the dark. So I'll draw one. Sam will draw one. Put this over here. Get another one. Get another one of them. 3 from the dark, and then 3 from this other deck called the Goodies. So I'll get one of them. And one of them. Alright. So basically, here is a card that you will also get in the game that says how to take a turn. So we've already gotten our act together, so we'll start the floodgates part of the turn. And the floodgates, if there's nothing on the pile, which should be here, you draw a card from the dark. Flip him over. There he is. That's the start of the pile. And the floodgates are open. So what happens now is the players whose turn it is not get to put
Hello.
other enemy cards down, which
Mhm.
are orange. So I'll switch over to Sam.
Hello there. Alright, so the basic idea here is that I want to make life harder for Dave if I can. Um, and you can tell how hard an enemy is by looking at its courage and sanity scores. You see Bob has courage 8 and sanity 6. Basically, the higher the score, the harder it is. So, in my hand, I have a billion baby spiders here. That's a bit harder, but sort of negligibly harder. I don't think I want to waste that right now. I've also got the short-sighted squirrel, and he's very easy to beat, being a blind little squirrel. So, so I don't think I want to put him out because he's going to make it very easy for Dave to beat. So I'm going to pass.
Right, so because Sam passes, play switches back to me, because this is a 2-player game. If it was a 3-player game, and the play would continue until it got around to me eventually. And I look at Big Bob Brown, and I am not very happy about having to face him, so I will look at what I've got in my hand. So I've got 2 cards here. Both are easier for Big Bob Brown. What I'll do is I'll just suspect that Sam has nothing in his hand, and I'll put out my easiest card.
Ha! You
Zilla!
fool! For I have the billion baby spiders in my hand. Now it
Ah,
is a good time to play.
right. So because I put down an enemy card, play went back to Sam, and he had another
Oh
opportunity.
yeah, you should probably explain about that. What you
Oh,
just
that's
did.
right. Yeah. So because Sam's put down a card, play comes back to me again, and I can put another orange card down. So I'll put down the neighbor's yappy dog.
Alright, now I'm looking at my hand. I'm going, well, I've just got this stupid squirrel still. He's still weak. I'm not going to play him. So I pass.
So Sam passes, and then all I have to do to go to the next step of the play is to say I will deal with it. So I'll deal with the neighbor's yappy dog, and so that brings us to step 3: screw things up. Now this is where the fun begins again. Play switches to the player who is not having a turn.
Okay, my general idea here is I want to make this yappy dog as difficult for Dave to deal with as possible. So I can play purple cards and green cards. We'll start with the purple cards, which is your stuff. This is your stuff you have on the table in front of you. Put that out, and it stays in play. Um, and I can use my stuff. It's all got text that describes its function by turning it on its side to indicate it's been used.
So you're going to use the devil's
I'm going to
bagpipes.
use the devil's bagpipes here to do. Oh, I should probably mention this. You can only have one of each type of stuff. You can have 3
Oh
stuff cards
yes.
total, but only one of each type. So I've got a weapon and a buddy. I could also have a thing, but I couldn't have another weapon or another buddy. It's
Yes, a thing is another type of stuff, isn't
yeah,
it?
a thing is yes, exactly. 3 stuff cards, 1 of each type. Have you got that, you idiot? Okay, good.
Very important. Very important.
Yeah. Alright, so this does -2 to target's courage. Now I can target anything that has a courage. I could target the neighbour's yappy dog here and put his courage down to 3. But why would I do that? That just makes it easier for Dave to beat it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do -2 to Dave, who's another target in this game with courage. So there he
Down to
goes.
2, making me a total of 3 courage.
3 courage. He's not courageous at all.
Hmm.
He's a whining wiener.
So, so you're going to do anything else to screw things up for me?
So now I can also use green cards. The green cards are effects cards. You just piff them out. They do something once, and then we'll be discarding them at the end of this turn. So they're spells, one-shots, whatever you want to call them. These, this one does +3 to target's courage, and this one does +1. So again, I could target anything with a courage. I could target Dave again, but why would I want to give him courage? That would be ridiculous. No, I want to target the dog to make it more courageous and harder to beat. So 1.
It's on 5, so we go 1, and for that card, and then 1, 2, 3.
What a courageous dog it is.
Yes, look at him. Look at those mad eyes.
Oh,
Courageous than you
so
thought.
full of courage. Alright, so that is all I will do. I have done screwing things up.
Alright, so play comes back to me, and we're up to step 4, which is deal with it. Now, how exciting, I can actually play some cards. So, just like Sam did, I now have an opportunity to put out stuff, the purple cards, or play green effect cards. So let's have a look at what I've got here. I've got some underpants, some roses, and a pirate. So let's have a look at these roses. What do? Ditch to gain 1 mind point. Oh, what an interesting mechanic. So I'll put that one out, and I will ditch it straight away. Ditch it over here next to the goodies. It's got this little yellow mark up the top here, which means that if you look at the back, it's a goodie. So it gets ditched next to there, and I get my 1 mind point from the mind point bag and chuck it in here. And I'll put out my other thing, so I don't have 2 things in play. And my buddy. So what does my buddy do? Draw 1 card from your goodies. Alright, so I will go and draw a card. What we got here? Dress up like a thief. Ooh, very nice. Oh no, dress up like airport security. Terribly sorry.
The thief is another card.
Okay, well maybe I'll just hold on to those for now and see what sort of position I'm in. So this dog's on 9 courage, pretty much unbeatable, and 7 sanity. So can I get to 7 sanity? What have I got here? -1 to sanity. I'll put him on 6. I'm in a tight spot. Well, let's try and just use everything and see what happens. Well, I've used Greenbeard, so I'll turn him on the side. I'll use my underpants. They give me a +3 courage and -1 from my sanity. So -1 sanity, +3 to my courage. So now I'm on 6 and 4, and why not? I'll just throw this out here and I'll steal them.
How dare you!
For giving me a total of a weapon, a buddy, and a thing.
Ooh, 1 of each type.
3 types of stuff that you need.
Yay!
So I will immediately use the Devil's Bagpipes on the yappy dog.
By the way, when stuff gets stolen, it gets reset. So
It does.
that's why Dave was able to steal something I had used and then use it himself. The dastardly cur.
Oh, so after all of this, I'm no better off. The dog is now on 7 and 7, and I'm on 6 and 4. So the last thing that I could do on my turn is move my gizmo. So in a 2-player game, you can move your gizmo 1 space to the left or to the right. In a 3-player game, you could move it 2 spaces. In a 4-player game, you could move it 3 spaces. So it's just however many players there are -1.
Or how many opponents you are facing. Exactly. That probably confused you unnecessarily.
Yes. Alright, so I will, what will I do here? I can tie on courage. So I will tie on courage and lose on sanity. So what happens then? Ooh. Where did you come from?
How did that happen?
I have no idea.
Oh well.
The internet made it happen. Alright, so, how bad is this? What's going to happen? Oh, I've lost control of myself. Alright, so, I'm not sane, I'm not scared or crazy, so I'm in a bad spot. Now, I didn't win on either. This is a terrible example.
Yeah, maybe you should move your thing the other way. Your
The other
gizmo.
way.
Yeah,
Well, what happens if I move it the other way?
don't you win on sanity and lose on
Lose on
courage?
both. No, no. I've made a terrible judgment.
Oh.
All right, so I tie, so nothing happens, and I lose. So I lose a blue point, mind, and I was crazy. So this annoying beastie eats your thing. Burn it. Oh, a horrible thing to happen. I'm losing my undies.
Mm. And they're getting
Goodness.
burnt. Oh God.
Yeah. All right, so that's that dealt with.
All right.
So it goes to the ditch. And
Now,
then all of these effects that I've got used, they go, these ones were goodies, so they go to the goodies ditch, and this one was a regular card, so it goes over there. And that's the end of my turn.
mm.
So now it's Sam's turn.
Hello, hello. All right. So at the beginning of my turn, I will draw back up to 6 cards. 3, 4, 5. Let's just. So we're playing open-handed, by the way.
Just,
Normally, these
wait.
cards would not be face up.
Oh, just sort these out for you.
Thank you.
What you got here?
All right. Oh, Dave.
That card back. All right.
All right. So these are my cards. And the first thing that happens to me is the floodgates open, and I say to Dave, "You want to put any orange
Oh,
monsters on the pile?"
well, and I
Knowing
say,
full well unlikely that he has anything good because he's only got one ratty little card in his hand.
but it does have a black back, so you might think it is an enemy.
Oh,
So I'm going to choose to pass.
all right. Well, in that case, I'm going to kind of hedge my bets that he doesn't have anything and put out
Yes.
the very easy to beat zombie head lice.
Hmm.
Mm.
Which play will switch back to me, and once again, I pass
So it comes
by
back.
choice.
Okay, by choice, you pass. It comes back to me, and I could keep putting enemies down if I wanted to, but as the player whose turn it is, it's my choice to make. I say I will deal with this. I will deal with the zombie head lice.
All right. Well,
And would you
what
like
happens?
to screw things up in any way
Yeah,
there?
screw things up. Well, I've used my stuff, and it won't reset until the start of my next turn. So if I want to screw things up at all, the only choice I have is to play this -1 sanity card, which probably won't have any effect on the outcome, but I'm going to play it anyway
All
because
right.
there I am.
So I lose one sanity.
-1 to your sanity there
Okay.
for
The 4.
courage.
All right. So this guy's on sanity 5. So I really do want that extra sanity.
Mm,
Can move my gizmo once. Let's
yes.
go ahead and do that. I'll do that up 1 in the sanity direction. So I'm now on 5-4 instead. Tying, but I'd really like to win. I'm going to play my identity thief, which allows me to steal a target. Oh, actually, I don't need to do that, but I will
No, you
anyway.
don't.
I'll just take this back, thank you.
You want your devil's back by
Yeah,
today.
I'll put that back, steal that back. I just have to use my stress relief robot. What am I thinking about? +2 to my sanity,
Mm.
and I win on both.
Well, if you could ever actually add two to your there
Yeah,
we
there we
go.
go. So I win on both. So what happens is you win a point for everyone you win on, you lose a point for everyone you lose on. I won on both, so I get 1 point of
Blue,
each.
red.
And I look to see how many goodies I win. 1 on the courage side, so I will draw a goodie. And that will be good for later. And I had a much more successful go than Dave.
That's exactly it.
So that's the end of my turn, and it would now go back to Dave, and we would just
Well,
go.
you could still play cards. You could
Oh
still
yeah,
play hot cross buns
yeah, I'll
mod.
do that. I'll play the hot cross bun, which says I can gain a mind point. May as well do that. I'm clearly out in front now. Um, and
And you could voluntarily discard up to 2 cards as well.
yes, that's right. I could do that. If I didn't like what I had. So say I wanted to clear these enemies out of my hands and increase my chances next turn of picking up more stuff from the dark or whatever, I could do that. But I'm not going to. They look alright to me.
Hmm. All right, so that's the
Alright.
end of your turn.
So yeah, so it goes back to Dave, and we would just go round and round and round like that until one of us won. And you win when one of you gets to 18 points total, which can be broken up in any way you like. You could have 1 mind point, 17 heart points equals 18, or any different way.
Look at all this stuff
Or
I just picked up.
it
Stuff is
finishes after you lose all of one type of point. If you run out of heart, then you have gotten scared to death, and the game will
yeah,
end in that point. In
0
that
hard
case,
points.
yeah.
Get all these mind points out.
So you can
Get all
kind
the
of
mind points.
you can kind of play point acquisition, or you can attack your enemy's points. A couple of different ways to go there. But I think that's about it, isn't it, David? Young David,
I think so.
young
I
Master
can't
David.
continue this turn because look at my awesome stuff.
Well,
A couple of really wicked buddies and the Bedlam rulebook, which is the most powerful sanity weapon in the game.
yeah, well, too bad. The tutorial's over.
Okay. Thank you for listening to our speech.
Goodbye.